Okay, so now that I'm ready to actually start doing runs, I need to set up my splits to be a little better than they were before. So if you are using Livesplit, this program here that I mentioned before, and that I think I've linked below, you can follow along. If you're using any other split program, then I'm sure you can figure it out. They're all pretty much the same. So just having a timer is good enough, but sometimes it's better to separate your timings into individual levels. That way you can see which levels you did well on and which levels you did poorly on. You can compare them relative to yourself, and you can compare them relative to other people. You might realize that you're losing 5 seconds on one level that you thought you were doing quite well, and then you know to look into that one a lot more. So in order to do that on Livesplit, there's a few things you can do. One way, which is unique I think to Livesplit, is you can go open splits. Ignore these, this is what I've run in the past. From speedrun.com, and this will bring you up a window that contains all of the speedruns that are listed on speedrun.com where people have submitted their splits for sharing. Well, not everyone will have done that, but you can enter your game, navigate through to the category that you care about, Mickey for us, and you see here the speedruns which are highlighted, like this one. These are available to you. So let's take, well, 82's in here twice. Let's take 82, and I can download 82 splits, and then I could perhaps race against them myself. Or I could use them as a basis for my own splits. So if I want to see his splits, I can click download, and there we go. These are his splits, this is what he calls them when he makes them. Beautiful stuff. Another option available to you, you do exactly the same thing again. Don't make the window smaller, that doesn't help. Is you can check this box here, download empty, and then what you will get is 82 splits, but they won't be filled out, so you can use this just as a framework for timing your own runs on, with nothing to compete against. The third option, which is what I generally do, and what I will be doing, is you can just start from a blank slate like this, and go straight into edit splits. And don't worry thinking that you're going to have to do everything yourself, you're not. You'll get this page, which has this incredibly useful drop-down box here. Start to type in the name of the game that you are running, it will pop up, you can click on it, it will populate some information for you. Like Voice Mad over here, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Great. I think I might change that later, but great. Select the category that applies to you, and you should then, in my opinion, click on this tab here, Additional Info, which will give you the rules, taken straight from speedrun.com. You can see here we have the 3.1 second rule that we mentioned before, so minus 3.1 on the start timer. Other rules here, nothing applies to me, I've read the rules before, don't worry. And then these are my splits. All I need to do is name them and make them. So when do I want splits? Well, I like splits at the end of every level. You might put them at the end of every screen, but that seems a bit overkill to me. But, you know, if you want that level of precision, then that's fine, you can do that, it's up to you. I like to do it every level. When there's an actual pause in gameplay, I can press the split key. It just suits me better. So I'm going to put it after every boss. And who are the bosses in this game? There's Giant Spider. There's 6 dragons. There is Glut the Shark. Good old Glut. Madam Mim. And the final boss is Pete. Click OK, drag this so you can actually see it. And there we go, I have workable splits, name of the game, name of the category, the different splits that I've personally chosen, the timer set to the correct value. I'm ready to go. And now it's montage time. Well, we are making steady progress, run by run. Down to 1606. What did we start at? About 17-ish? 1750 or something for the first run. If I can just get one run where I don't die, I'm gonna be fine. That's quite a lot to ask for, though. But we'll try our best. Commentating this in post, by the way. I know exactly what happens. And now I'm going to act like I don't have a clue. I can tell you that succeed or fail, this is my last attempt of the day. Or rather, it was my last attempt of the day. Trying to preserve mystery is difficult. Now I shall critique myself, if you'll excuse me. Lovely jumps. This bit here I need to work on. I don't know if it's worth me faffing about with the seesaw. There's sort of three different strategies there. You can either jump straight onto the seesaw and then just let it take you up, or you can jump onto the seesaw and go for the super jump where Mickey jumps at the same time as it launches you. If you get it, it saves a tiny amount. If you don't get it, it costs you a lot of time. Or you could just ignore the seesaw and jump up the spiderwebs. I don't know the timing difference between them, so something to look into there going forwards. probably I should do one of the two safe options, whichever one works fastest. Now, through all of my runs, this giant spider fight has not been a problem. Sometimes I get hit, sometimes I don't. I'm getting more used to not getting hit, but it doesn't really matter. Getting this final hit comes down to luck. He will go to the top of the screen, he'll come down in one of 3 random locations. I'm not aware of any way to tell where he's going to come from. I missed it there. Costs a second or 2. Not enough for us to worry about right now. If you're wondering about how I know when to split, I don't. I just chose something for myself and I stayed consistent with it. So I'm actually splitting by ear. I'm listening for a specific chime in the victory jingle. And whenever I hear that note, it's the big note. Whenever I hear that one, I hit the split key. I find it easier to go off audio cues when splitting. Some people will split when the screen fades out or something like that. It makes level by level splits a little harder to compare to other people because people might split in slightly different places. But the level to level splits really are just for your own information. The only ones that need to be bang on with everyone else is the start and the finish. Anything in between is just a learning tool for yourself. Nice skip here. Haven't had much problem with the skip. Sometimes I get hit by the flames, but it doesn't cause any big problems, you just lose a few seconds. This cloud jump has gone really well since the practice. Didn't miss it a single time. Very happy. Proof, if ever you needed it, that hard work pays off. No, in truth, it's proof that having good cues to work off of pays off. The cues on that screen line up perfectly. It's just run to the edge, jump, run to the edge, jump. As simple as can be. But it works perfectly, and now that we know it, we can do it every time. Brace yourself for this boss. You know, in one of my practice runs I actually got hit by this boss. Can you believe that? I was too eager running towards it. At this point where it spawns. I was too central, and so it landed on me. Unbelievable. You might be wondering why sometimes the timers that you can see for the sections I've already completed, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's gold. If it's green, that means I'm ahead of time, so Giant Spider was 2.8 seconds ahead. 6 Dragons is in gold, minus 4.1, so I'm 4.1 seconds ahead of my best ever run. I'm currently on pace for a 16:02, look at me go. But gold means it's the best I've ever done that section, so I have never had a level 2 that good before. So yay! We're doing well. If it's red, then it means I'm behind. So we don't want to see red. Green good, gold amazing, red bad. As is the standard gaming rules. You may have seen me just dodge the fish. It's unnecessary, but I'm a bit scared of losing runs to running out of HP. You've seen in the montage, I have died because I took too many hits from the shells in the upcoming cave. Sometimes I die in the cave, sometimes I die in the shipwreck after the cave. But it all comes down to not having enough health, so I chose to save the extra hit point by not swimming through the fish. Place your bets. Do I get the shell jumps? Another thing I practiced, but maybe my least consistent? No, definitely not. We got 1. Victory. for all that practice. Hey, it's better than it was. Ish. Very smooth up the stairs. Again, the fast strategy here is to deliberately get hit by a couple of those falling forks, tridents, whatever you want to call them. Because you don't need the health, and that way you don't have to do the quick double back, which obviously wastes time. But I'm scared for my health. I don't want to lose a run over the half a second, so we take the safe option. This boss fight is just pure memorization. He always attacks from the same direction, always does exactly the same movement if you stand in exactly the same place. So all of his decisions are based on where Mickey is. And I missed him there, which is uncommon for me, but it means now I'm freestyling because I don't know what he does. Fortunately, it was pretty simple. It ends up that I just lost a few seconds, nothing much. If you're wondering how I managed to get a gold split even though I made mistakes, it's because I had a very clean swimming section and shipwreck. There's a skip here that saves quite a lot of time. Fortunately, I got it second try. It's exactly the same as the seesaw jump. Sometimes I can be there for about 10 tries, but that one cuts off a big chunk of the level, so that's certainly worth going for. Fairly clean. What do we call this level? Candyland? Biscuit Tin? Could be better. There's a few jumps that you could speed up by skipping things out, but again, we're talking fractions of seconds, which is something to work on for the future, but not my concern now. Finally, I can stop worrying about taking damage because it's a full heal at the end of this stage. Madam Mim is pretty simple, pretty easygoing. It's hard to kill her without missing a single attack. You see I missed one there. So, again, as is always, lose a few seconds. But so long as nothing major happens, we're alright. You can see we're 10 seconds ahead right now, because their levels are just going nice and smooth. Now this is one of the other levels you saw me practicing, and I'm going to be honest, the practice on this level didn't really do enough for me. I still struggle on this level, a lot. It's by far my worst level. So after this run, I know this is the first place I need to go to practice. It's just not smooth, it's not clean. The second half of the level's fine. Ignore that. After that jump, I would say the rest of the level now is fine. But that first half is shaky. Very shaky. I did a little pause there because I was scared about dying by going too fast. Probably unnecessary. But I was scared. Just like Mickey, look at his face. So place your bets then. Do we think this is going to be a sub 16? It's on pace right now. It's on pace for a 1554. No, 1556. What? How could I not subtract 10 from a number? I don't know. I'll let you revise your guess later. That's a bit of a spoiler. If I throw so many conflicting spoilers out at you, you won't know what's going on. So there's only 2 screens of enemies left. And then there's Pete himself. And I have 3 hit points, so really this is a challenge of... Can I get through these 2 screens on my 2 hit points? Pete can hit me as well. I've taken damage from Pete's ghost before. I've only ever taken 1 point of damage in the Pete fight. That was me being nice and cautious on that enemy there. Making sure I didn't get hit. Lovely stuff. 1 hit point remains. Now if I can get a run through without dying, I've got this no problem. My personal best time of 1606 includes 1 death in this stage. When I say this stage, I don't mean this screen, I mean this section. Somewhere between Madam Mim and Pete's death. Great. Fantastic. Would you like to revise your guess? This is kind of a frustrating death because I actually got over the more difficult enemies. The first, there's 2 playing cards that you jump over together, and there is a Jack-in-the-Box guy, and and there's a single playing card. Those 4 enemies at the start are the hardest by far to dodge, and I got over them all, and then I just hit the next enemy, which is frustrating. But what can you do? The dream run without a death. It just hasn't happened. Yet. I can't throw in the towel. Wait a second. Would you like to revise your guess again? How long does this ending jingle take? You gotta get through a text box, and you gotta wait for the fade out. Easy. And this was not set up like this, to be clear. I did not create some good story with a plot line. This is not some James Bond moment where I defused the bomb with 1 second left. This is genuinely what happened. My microphone isn't on when I record these attempts, so you can't hear me getting all excited and fist pumping the air. But there you go, sub 16, goal achieved. And we still haven't had a deathless run. One can only imagine what would happen if we got it. But hey, this has been my speedrun diary of me learning Wood of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Setting myself a target, continuing until I hit my target, and then celebrating my victory with you guys. Hopefully it inspires some people to do some speedrunning, hopefully it answers some questions that people had. If anyone watching this has any questions about speedrunning, they can be technical, they can be theoretical, they can be anything you like. Leave it in the comments, I'll do my best to answer you. I can answer most questions about speedrunning, not all, but I'd like to think I could probably point you in the right direction, even if I can't answer. So, seriously, any questions ask, because I love speedrunning, and I think everyone should... Well, not everyone, you might not be right for you, but if you're watching this, you're probably thinking about doing it, so you should give it a go, definitely. And I'll help in any way I can. But yeah, I've been Artigo Omega, this has been my speedrun diary, my journey to sub 16 in World of Illusion, having never speedrun it before in my life. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And hey, if you like me and my commentary, I have other videos on the channel, not speedrun related. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.